자, 여러분 안녕하세요. 엄군입니다. 자, 오늘 따끈따끈한 신작 게임으로 한번 찾아뵀는데요. 폴아웃 시리즈를 만들었던 라스베이거스라든가 폴아웃 1 시리즈를 만들었던 개발팀들이 나가서 옵시디언이라는 회사를 통해서 만든 아우터 월드라는 게임 오늘 플레이 한번 해보도록 하겠습니다. 폴아웃과 거의 유사한 장르라고 보시면 될 것 같고요. 그 다음에 한글화가 돼서 발매를 했습니다. 10월 25일 기준으로. 그래서 오픈월드라고는 하는데 맵 크기는 폴아웃 정도까지는 아니라는 평들이 있긴 한데 폴아웃 같은 게임을 좋아하시면 필구시지 않을까 생각합니다. 사실 저도 폴아웃 시리즈는 플스로는 나왔었어도 한글화가 되지 않았기 때문에 한 번도 못 해봤거든요. 폴아웃 76 같은 경우는 온라인 전용 게임이고 인간 NPC도 없었기 때문에 그래서 이번에 구매를 해봤고요. 자, 그러면 더 아우터 월드 시작해 보도록 하겠습니다. 왼쪽 로고가 거의 보이지 않을 때까지 간만 슬라이드 조정을 하고 새 게임 저는 처음 플레이하니까 노멀로 하겠습니다. 대화 자막 켜기, 대사 자막 켜기, 그 다음에 시네마틱 자막 보기 다 일단 켜놔야 보이는 거니까 이렇게 해서 시작 들어가 볼게요.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity, with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny. When you go out of this world, the Halcyon Colony.
도망자?
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
능력치 힘
Yes, you look like you can take a beating.
뭐로 올리는 게 좋을까? 그냥 다 하나씩 올리자. 다 좋음으로. 초반부터 능력치를 하네. 근접, 원거리, 방어, 대화, 기술. 뭐를 올리는 게 좋을까? 일단
You would have
통솔력이랑
made outpost administrator within a
기술.
year.
자, 적성? 설득 해보자.
I can be reasonably sure you know how to add and subtract.
성별, 남성. 얼굴 다양하네. 헤어스타일. 보통 우주 악당들처럼 그래. 이렇게 가자. 이름은 엄군. 한글이 지원 안 되네. 아, 이게 이거를 올려야만. 잠깐만. 스킬을 다른 걸 올리자. 이게 중요한 거였네.
Look at that. A real scientist.
이 뭔가 명중
We'll put
상태
those
요거 해제.
marksmanship scores to good use. A steady hand at the helm.
가자.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines. I'm prepared.
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Status, structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down.
Shit. Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? A bit of bad news there, I'm afraid.
Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
아직까지는 스토리가 어떤지 좀 파악하기가 쉽지가 않다.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry. I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you. You've landed good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste.
헐, 누가
Hawthorne won't
죽었네.
mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I
일단
trusted the
그래픽은
fellow.
뭐
Might have
나쁜 것
gone
같진
after the
않네요.
bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
X가 장애물 뛰어넘기. 점프가 X. 동그라미가 앉기. 달리기. 아, 저 외계 생물한테 걸리면 안 돼서 은신. 그리고 이게 서양 애들은 참 3인칭을 좋아하네.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
아,
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, law, that stings.
일단 가만 앉아 있어봐. 내가 치료해 줄 텐데, 처치해 줄 테니까. 나
Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's Choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some Adrena time. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
R2가 공격.
Damage my ears! Oh, what had just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
동면 합병증이 감지됐다. 아, 이게 이제 시간 느려지는 거다. 아, 만능 열쇠가 하나가 더 없구나. 얘는 없네. 먹을게. 만능 열쇠를 하나 더 찾아야 되는데. 저기 있다. 더 대화할 건 없네. 인벤토리 하면은 어떻게 열을 하는 거지? 검 끼고 끼고 다시 여기서 세모 누르고. 아, 이렇게 검도 되는구나. 이렇게 맞고. 칼이 데미지가 진짜 세긴 세네. 근데 총이 훨씬 편하다. 어?
Hey! Get over here before you get yourself killed! Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath.
아
Stretch
맞다,
my
말하지
legs.
말라 그랬는데 자기 상관한테.
Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation... You know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go. I'm taking cover! I ain't anything to do with it! Waste of company ammo.
This is gonna take a lot of paperwork.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder.
아 여기?
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a... Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarded parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
거짓말이네. 우리 지금 착륙해 있는 건데.
You are still here. My deception protocols have failed.
아
I have
역시
been
속임수
programmed to
썼네.
express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I deduce from the tone of your voice that Captain Hawthorne failed to meet you at the designated location.
약탈자들에게 죽었어.
I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain
아,
intact.
얘는 나를 이제 호송어로 생각하는구나.
Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
뭐를 올릴까? 클레이 이몬의 특별. 뭐가 좋을래나? 최대 소지량 늘리자.
What can I do for you, Captain? Goodbye.
자, 근데 아까 수리는 여기서 안 되는구나.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. I'm afraid we gotta dock your pay. Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
저기로 가야 되는 건가 보네. 오. 아까 그 머서중이는 저쪽으로 아예 가버린 건가? 가버렸나 보네. 일단 마을로 갑시다. 그렇게 전투가 어렵진 않네. 여기 누구 죽었네. 주민?
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's Marauder territory, friend. Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Got a knack for being discreet-like? There's money to be made, long as you keep your nose clean. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Four workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Yeah? The colony ship? Are you talking about that old rumor? Some great big starship packed full of colonists what got lost in the Aether never to be found again? Ain't heard that one since I was but a stripling. Can't say it was terribly convincing far as rumors go. There a reason you asking? Something I can do for you? Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower above the cannery. Head into town, follow the road. Yeah?
일단 가자. 퀘스트 일지. 일단 전력 조절기 찾기부터 하자.
Miss Holcomb, I need you to explain this with less of the grease monkey, Argo.
얘가 마을
Seems we've got
지도자가.
a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. The geothermal plant was built by our owners, Spacer's Choice. Lit up the whole Vale once upon a time. Most of the Vale is now abandoned. All that power is going to waste. We could use the power. Cannery's been struggling. If we don't ramp up productivity, the company might cut us loose. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a
거기 있는
parent
게
disciplining an unruly
약탈자들이라고.
child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters.
아,
Former
이탈자.
workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
My dad told me all about the plant.
오,
Taught me all he
딸이야.
knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Heading back. Yep, be right over. On my way. On my way.
얘가 이제 동료로 들어온 거구나.
Right there. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. On my way. Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways. Something you need?
일단 이거부터 가자. 묘지비부터 회수. 저기 필리스 그레인저는 어디 있는 거야? 올라가 있는 건가? 다른 애부터 찾으러 가야 되나 보네. 아, 여기였어? 아, 얘네.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Not half as awful as the bill Eugene left us with. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism. I'm plenty serious. In fact, I'm a little upset Eugene didn't think things through. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice. Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all. May his atoms be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
다음에 저기 일단 마을 안에 있는 애들부터 다 받아내자.
Wish we had some better rations.
Yes, Mr.
Know how you
Thompson.
feel.
I'm... Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy. You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him about his mental state? Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows. Sounds like he's already told you. You may as well hear it from me. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my expiration is fast approaching. And soon I shall be ushered through the great cannery in the skies.
Don't say that, Mr. Abernathy. You still got a couple decades in you.
I'd steer clear, Ms. Holcomb. My affliction's bound to be contagious. It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. He knows I got one foot in my grave, and now he wants to charge me for the other one. You are? Oh, wow. First time anyone's ever told me that. I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see a way to freelancing for me, I could really use the help. There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Stronger than what we got, anyway. I need you to break in, nab that medicine, and bring it back to me. I'll do what I can. I tried medicating myself with Adrenatime. Didn't do much for me, as far as I can tell. Anyway, I can't just buy medicine. Distribution of medicine is strictly prohibited to any workers beneath the acceptable margin of health. Company policy. More like the company won't treat me because I'm not healthy enough. You will not find any guards within sight of that old place. Marauders, on the other hand. I have it on good authority. There's a gang of them squatting there. I advise stepping softly. So you'll do it then? You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spreading. Oh, Lord, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it. I know that, but I got nobody else to turn to. Reed would have wrote me up. Constable would have locked me up and wrote me up. Could have gone to see the good vicar, but I never did find my courage.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy.
Oh, I cut my own hair. But Conrad sells real good to...
Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness. No, thank you. That's quite all right. I've seen enough body parts in my line of work. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions. As broke as pie crust, friend. Bitless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. With what? My own blood? Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, I'd proven worthy of treatment. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers! No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. Much obliged.
얘는 생각나는 게 있으면 얘기해 준다고 하고 끝인가 보네.
Wish we had some better rations.
We should keep our voices down.
I've never actually been in here. Seemed scary from the outside.
뭔가 차용증 쓸만한 그게 없네.
Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor? You may think that, but the tidiness of my fellow worker is my responsibility. Alive or otherwise. Whether you're showing up to work or going to that great cannery in the sky, it's my job to make you look like a million bits. You know about Eugene? How? Then, you know Phyllis suggested selling off Eugene's gold teeth. I didn't approve of the idea then, and I don't approve of it now. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. More than a few. Those teeth were his personal savings. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I?
Are you asking rhetorically? Because if you're being serious... Ugh, gross.
Desperate measures, Miss Holcomb. Desperate measures. I'm going to have to ask Silas to dig up those teeth. It's the only way I'm paying my gravesite fees. I'm sure that I have no other choice. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU. Eugene was not a suicide. He put a bullet in his brain, yes, but that's largely a technicality. I was the one who prepared Eugene's body for interment. I discovered symptoms of the plague on his corpse, and I discovered medicine in his pocket. Lots of medicine. Eugene overdosed on adrenatime, which is known to cause psychosis and paranoia as possible side effects. The paranoia drove him to take his own life. It's a miracle of bureaucracy. If Eugene's death were filed as a suicide, we'd all pay the price for his crime. We can all thank our lucky stars that young Eugene was hopped up on medication and suffered its predictable side effect. I included it all in my official report. I'd like to think I saved Edgewater a great deal of money. We never could have paid the fines associated with a suicide.
Hey, Miss Parvati. Come for a visit?
Not today. Just helping this fella.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the Resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. That's right. That's what I've been saying. We gotta square our shoulders and stand ever vigilant. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the Resistance? I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saw tuna cans, mostly, some Spacer's Chaw, few bit cards. I'll reward you for your aid. Enlistment fees? Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the Resistance a bad name. They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back. Mechanicals got a weak spot in their midsections. I think the technical term is, the blue glowy square thing. Go on. I'm Ludwig Miller, Associate Security Officer for Transportation. Officially? Unofficially? Strictly between you and me. I am the only thing standing between Edgewater and total annihilation. Go on. You ever seen the way a mechanical just stands there? Just looking at you, scanning you with its murderous oculars. Mechanicals have been programmed to eliminate the human race. They've been programmed to replace us. First, they will rob us of our jobs. And once they have taken away our livelihoods, they will take away our very lives.
미션을 하면서 서브캐가 계속 나오네. 일단 수금은 다 받았으니까 사일러스한테 돌아가자.
Lovely to see you about, Miss Parvati.
Things going all right, Silas?
Been keeping him careful and true, miss. Best to ask her yourself.
My dad's buried here. Silas watches over him when I can't leave the house. Oh. Well, thanks.
Something I can do for you? You run into any trouble? Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. And I'll buy you a drink sometime. Oh, suppose you've earned it. One good turn deserves another. Abernathy was sick? With the plague? That's disgusting. I shook hands with the guy. What? No. If I knew he was sick, I would have had him reported. I needed his fees because of his name. A, for Abernathy. He was at the top of my list, you see? Yeah? You could look at it that way, I suppose. You could look at us and say, those Edgewater saps lost near every soul to plague. But you'd be wrong. We're survivors. Loyal company folk, brave in the wilds. Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town. That's life on the frontier, I suppose. A body grows accustomed. Hang on, I'm doing some math in my head. 20, 30, carry the one... all my life? Work's been real good to me. Fresh air, exercise. Only problem is the paperwork. Can't get anybody to pay their gravesite fees. Former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Hence the armed guards. Well, if you're gonna go headhunting, talk to Constable Reyes back in town. She pays for marauders by the finger. Oh no. They are after the most precious loot of all. Spacer's Choice Company property. If those marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery, company's gonna duck my pay.
오. 돌격 속총. 아, 좋긴 한데 총알이 없구나. 일단은 목사와 대화하기로 해서 한번 가보자. 점수를 뭘 올릴까? 대화 올리자. 특전. 일단 이거 기다려보자. 목사한테 일단 가보자.
Had your rations yet?
Yep. 2 whole cans of salt tuna.
여기 교회 안에 있나 보네, 목사가.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice? Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume.
One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M'Bakono handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here. Any progress on that matter we discussed? Please get it. A religious text deemed heretical by the OSI is an unsafe object at large, though I understand why a collector would desire to possess such a rare book. Because I'm also a collector of books. Rare things in this colony. Appreciation of the written word outside monthly periodicals is virtually unknown here. Not to put too fine a point on it, but your choice of wardrobe is not precisely common hereabouts. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed frenzy, like a trapped animal. Pretty universal here, except for Ms. Holcomb, who, for some reason, doesn't seem to have much to say to me. Isn't that right?
It's just... there's more to it all than numbers. Sorry.
Oh, nothing could be further from the truth. I'm simply bemoaning the level of spiritual awareness in this town. Yes, but there are few who hear me in this miserable place. I must double my efforts to elevate my flock. These are good, hard-working people here. Yes, and thank you for pointing it out. It is wrong of me to succumb to distress. This place could be so much more, and I will continue in my quest to make it so. They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No? How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands. The OSI teaches that the Grand Architect set a perfect system in motion at the beginning of time.
대화가
Contentment is
어려워.
found by accepting one's role in that grand plan. The Order of Scientific Inquiry, also known as scientism to the layperson. You don't talk to the Grand Architect. Once the universe was set in motion, it stepped back. It has no concern for us. We will eventually decode the plan and all its intricacies. Once we are able to deduce the properties of every particle in the universe and its trajectory, we will know everything. The future, the past, each person's place within the plan, all will be laid out before us, removing struggle and bringing peace. No one will ever need question their path again. Some even believe this ultimate knowledge will unlock mankind's true potential, and we will all become akin to grand architects ourselves, after a fashion. I would love to discuss the finer points of my religion with you. Oh, wait. No, I wouldn't. Seriously, though, to truly understand the metaphysics involved takes years of study and contemplation.
와, 대화가 너무 길어. 일단 로봇부터 없애고 그 다음에 로봇 없애고 수집하고 목사가 부탁한 거 가져오고 거기까지 하자. 너무 사이드 퀘들이 많네. 별거 없네. 간단한 미션이었어. 그 다음에 기나긴 내일. 칼이 데미지가 더 세네. 어?
That's the last of them.
아, 이게 근접이라고 무조건 들이대면 안 되겠구나. 아, 여기서부터 시작이네. 아씨, 모르고 피 썼다.
Okay, keep him quiet. Here we go! That's the last of them!
와, 돌격소총. 저 우두머리 뒤로 가서 죽여야지. 오,
Smell something. Whoa!
아, 동료 죽었어?
Heading back.
넓다.
You're in.
파밍 겁나 해야 되나 보네. 아.
Heard something.
Everyone all right?
뭔가 하다가 계속 빠져들게 되네. 처음에는 조금 뭐지 난해함은 이랬는데 하다 보니까 계속 빠져들게 되네.
That's the last of them.
깜짝이야. 3, 4. 아, 만능 열쇠 하나가 없네. 만능 열쇠가 여기 아까 다 뒤졌는데. 아, 일로 열고 들어와야 되는구나. 오, 여기 있다. 아까 거기로 다시 가야 돼. 그리고 요거 내가 못 보고 지나갔었구나. 요거 열면
Something there?
자판기? 와, 엄청 비싸네. 수리. 판매. 무기만 다 판매하자. 아, 자판기에서 물건을 못 팔어? 해금이 안 됐구나. 빗장 걸림이 아까 여기였고. 아까 여기 2층에 문 못 열었던데 거기로 일단 가자. 아, 이번엔 또 그게 없어? 그 뭐냐, 열쇠가 없네. 나중에 모으면 그때 오지 뭐. 아, 저기 자판기 있었잖아. 자판기에서 사면 되겠다, 야. 2개 더 사면 되는 거잖아. 여기 시체 내가 다 먹었지. 저쪽 안쪽에 자판기에서 그거 사야겠다. 자유열쇠. 방에 뭐 들어있는지 되게 궁금하네. 자판기에 그 자유열쇠가 있나? 와, 없네. 없어. 도움 안 돼. 그럼 일단 마을로 갑시다가 아니지. 마을로 가는 게 아니지. 그래. 얘 갈아주면 되겠다. 충격망치 120인데 빠른 이동을 어떻게 해금하는지 모르니까 이게 되게 불편해. 오, 빠른 이동 되네. 일단 착륙장으로 가서 그 걔한테 그 로봇 죽인 거에 대해서 보상 받고 그 다음에 마을로 돌아가서 약 건네주고 아까 묘집이 봤던 애. 그 다음에 목사가 말한 미션 하러 갑시다.
Bring us honor, soldier. You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its optic cables out its head case? Actually, don't tell me. Rather use my imagination. You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. But you are one, and the enemy is legion. What you need is an equalizer, a weapon to strike fear in their cold, mechanical hearts. Cantina, lavatory, behind one of the toilets. That's where I've kept it hidden all these years. Sharp, ain't it? The lavatory is the very last place a mechanical has need to enter. On the double, soldier. Don't want the bartender poking around in there with a mop.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here. Good work.
아이템 많이 훔쳤는데?
Hey, I need to talk to you.
You wanna mingle, go try the cantina.
Let's see it. Don't keep us waiting.
Sweet life-giving nostrum. The first hit's always the best. Scratched together all the bits I had around the domicile. It ain't as much as you deserve, but it's all I got. wringing the blood out of me. Here, you can have whatever's in my pockets.
여기서 술집이 어디란 거지? 아, 여기가 술집이구나.
You're not a big drinker, are you?
The part that said we ain't making our quotas.
If only McDevitt's folk hadn't abandoned us. Cannery could use those extra hands.
여기가 아닌데? 아, 여기 있구나. 화장실에서 이런 거를 로딩도 생각보다 그렇게 길진 않은 것 같아요.
Feast your eyes, soldier. This here is a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit, designed to deliver a lethal blast of electrical discharge. I call it the Hand of the Law. You ever want to see a mechanical flailing around like a grounded fish? You stick a couple thousand volts in its guts. With compliments from old Ludwig. Fun. This ain't some quarterly performance review, soldier. Ours is a grave and sacred duty. Time's come for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp. I'm talking about the old geothermal plant. Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given jurisdiction. You'll need to get a passcode from the boss, Reed Thompson.
이거 아까 받았잖아.
I've been after a passcode for years. Boss said no on account of my gross incompetence with all matters related to security. I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a brain. Anatomically speaking, what we're looking for is a logic module. Don't tell anyone, all right? I've got a contact. A real expert in the inner workings of the automaton. We are gonna rip those mechanical secrets right out of their circuits. Well, excuse me. What I meant was I'm going to get a contact. Didn't know I had to be all prissy about my grammar around you. There's the rub. If a mechanical breaks down, the logic module fries. So you can't rip one out of its corpse. You're gonna have to find an intact model somehow.
I don't reckon so. I work with gears and pistons and such. Stuff you can put hands to. Computers and mechanical brains are outside my ken.
You know, she names the mechanicals she fixes. Calls them Bess and Clancy and so on. You keep a careful eye on her. Could be a sympathizer. If you die horribly, I will pour out a can of Zero-G to your memory.
자, 이제 그 신부 미션만 하면 웬만한 사이드캔 다 깨네. 뭐 타고 이동하는 건 없나 보네. 어?
Here we go! Nice one! It's not working! Cut him off!
이거 새로 얻은 무기 되게 좋은데? 전자 만능 열쇠 그게 없어가지고. 여기 뭔가 길인 것 같다. 아, 만능 열쇠 없어. 이쪽으로 들어올 수가 있던 거구나. 나 아이템을 쓸 일이 없어. 지도에서 가만. 이거 근데 쓸데없는 거 다 분해하자. 아, 저거 그 마을 어디 가가지고 팔아야겠어. 오, 깜짝이야, 씨. 뭐야? 아, 놀래라, 씨. 오, 유탄 발사기 좋아. 아직 쪼레벨이 안 될 것 같아. 일단 목사한테 돌아갑시다. 지금 뭐 전투 시스템이라 안 되나? 아, 깜짝이야, 약탈자. 일단 빨리 마을로 돌아가자. 어? 이제 뭐 쓸만한 아이템 없나? 괜히 그 자물쇠만 날렸네. 아, 여기 문 열기였나? 아, 이렇게. 아이고. 아, 점프가 무게 때문에 안 되는구나. 그러면 좌파전부터 가자.
I've been feeling pretty low these days.
여기서
You can do about that.
If
여긴
you're
건가?
falling sick, I don't want you near me.
Don't worry.
I'm not allowed in here. Not since the vending machine incident.
Holcomb, got my eye on you, girl. Miss Holcomb ain't allowed in this establishment. Not since that little incident. Ask her if you care. I'm running a business here.
I won't touch anything while we're in here, Mr. Moreau. I promise.
Music to my ears.
판매. 일단 무기 중에 팔고 리얼보드 사실 2개나 있으면 필요 없지. 요격소총 필요 없고 똥지나 필요 없고 구, 10 이거 넣고
It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. And before you ask, I'm all out of deluxe salt tuna. All I've got is gourmet. Music to my ears.
판매해서 팔고 얘도 팔고 나머진 두고 됐어. (89) 이거 왜 갑자기 착용이 안 되는 거야?
Work your jaw on some space. Music to my ears.
수리할 것도 없는데. 이렇게 하고 이걸로 들고 다니자.
Spacer's choice. Music to my ears.
아이고. 너무 많이 쓰면 안 되겠다. 돈이 너무 많이 나와서. 됐어. 이제
Work your
끝났고.
jaw on some Spacer's chaw. Go right ahead. What, you mean Edgewater? That's a peculiar question. This a test? Am I being tested right now? It's, fine and dandy. Couldn't be happier. Wouldn't want to spend my life working anywhere else. Prettiest little town on Terra 2. I have every reason to be. I caught a real break working in a place like this. I don't get paid for banter. Was there something you needed? Go right ahead. Other than yourself? Definitely the vicar. Don't get me wrong. He seems a decent man, cut from church cloth, knows his scriptures. But there's something about him that bothers me. Like he's not one of us. Sometimes I suspect he doesn't even want to be here.
목사를 의심하는군.
Plague? I don't know anything about a plague. We are the very picture of hot-blooded physical vigor. You have got the wrong idea about me. I've got nothing that needs hiding. Some of us who get sick are liable to exaggerate the conditions of that sickness, but the fact is, if you work hard, you have got no cause to worry. Spacer's choice is built on love, and like any real love, it is cold and tough when needs must. Medical treatment is commensurate with our value to society. Spacer's choice will dispense medicine for the indispensable worker. Natural selection at work. Then the hand of medical science will not grace you with its touch, and you must recover on the virtue of your own grit. Listen, you mind if we talk about something else? Rambling about company policy gets me feeling all lightheaded.
조심해야 될 사람.
Amelia. Definitely
또 있네.
Amelia Kim. I advise against stepping foot in her drinking establishment altogether. Word is, they're gonna replace her with an automechanical barkeep. She's... what's the word? Obsolete. You don't want to associate yourself with that kind of person.
자, 이제 인벤토리 다 정리했고 스킬에서 아까 그 자판기한테 물건 팔 수 있다는 거 그거 어떻게 하는 거야? 어? 회피가 되네? 다음에 내가 이거 올리지 않았나? 20 이거 말고 됐어.
Any progress on that matter we discussed? Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French! Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn. Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted. Please. As if my life should have no greater meaning than proselytizing to a bunch of feeble-minded wretches. Nothing could be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next Aetherwave program. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew. Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well. Fantastic. Let me get my things in order, and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
오. 날 왜 쏴? 아, 목사랑 대화한다는 게 뭐 싸움을 붙여버렸네. 아, 근데 목사 말고 또 더 안 되나? 목사가 일단 동료가 된 거잖아. 알겠다. 왼쪽에 있는 키가 공격 지시랑 뭐 그런 거네. 그래서 내가 아까 저거 눌렀더니 목사 겨누니까 빠진 거였어.
We can handle this.
Please, I don't want to die.
아, 이거 목사랑 사이 틀어지면 안 되는데. 모르고 내가 목사 어택 찍어가지고 이게 모든 NPC를 다 죽일 수가 있어가지고. 아, 다행이다. 그래, 여기서부터 다시 돼야 돼.
Any progress on that matter we discussed? Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French! Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn. Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted. Please. As if my life should have no greater meaning than proselytizing to a bunch of feeble-minded wretches. Nothing could be more excruciating than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next Aetherwave program. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew. Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well. Fantastic. Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
아, 됐다.
I'll meet you on the ship when you're ready to depart from Emerald Vale, Captain.
그럼 지금 당장은 제가 안 되나 보네. 일단 북쪽으로 가야 되고, 지열 발전소 가기 전에 일단 요거 메인 퀘스트 먼저 해야겠다. 토스볼 스틱 이거를 그 목사한테 주면 되겠네. 이것도 갈아줘야 되구나. 9짜리 끼고 10짜리 끼고. 이제 전력 가동으로 해서 지도상에 밖으로 나가서 가면 되겠구나. 자, 일단 아우터월드 1편 오늘 여기까지 방송하고요. 두 번째 시간부터는 여기 메인 퀘스트 전력 가동 이어서 가도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 진짜 발매하자마자 처음 해봤는데 폴아웃이랑 완전 세계관이 똑같은 것 같습니다. 전투나 뭐 이런 건 약간 조금 애매하긴 했는데 스토리가 처음엔 난해하다가 점점 알면 알수록 좀 빠져드는 것 같아요. 일단 괜찮은 것 같습니다. 그래서 오늘 여기까지 하고 다음 시간에 마저 이어서 메인 퀘스트부터 진행해 보도록 하겠습니다. 긴 시간 시청해 주셔서 감사합니다. 방송 마치겠습니다.